Hey everyone, God Turbo here. In this video I want to put some closure to the perfect load order video that I had created a while back. I appreciate the views and the comments and the subscriptions, and you'll maybe notice that I have part 1 of 2 and part 2 of 2 on each video now. And basically want to kind of establish moving forward what you can expect from me in this channel. I'd like to think that I did all of the back end work for that first video in terms of what I recommend and suggest for the best looking visual game that we can create with mods. And I think that that's what I want to be able to try to do moving forward on this channel, is to use the Dropbox document, test new mods as they come out, and give some feedback for you about mods, give my opinions, and have some good dialogue about the load order, specifically following the load order document. And again, with the aim of creating the best looking game. So what I don't want this channel to be, what I don't want to do is to come back to you guys every week saying, oh, I was wrong and now it's a completely different thing, and you know, a few weeks later, oh, all these new mods came out and oh, I was completely wrong, it's now going to be all switched around. And I want to be consistent. I don't want to be inconsistent with what I bring to you guys as a resource. I love Skyrim. I love playing with these mods. I love trying things out, but I'm dedicated to the Dropbox document. I want to be able to, again, use that as a resource for where to put mods as they come out. And if you think about it, as mods come out, the latest ones come out, I check regularly. It'll be kind of neat to see if there's no recommendation by the mod author, for us to be able to kind of look at the mod and say, all right, we know this is going to make the game better looking. Where should it go in the load order? And use the document kind of as a guide to say, hey, this is where it could go based on the criteria, the type of mod that it is, and let's try it out and see if it makes the game look better. So that's what I want to be able to do in future videos for you guys. My experience with this game has been, I mean, I guess with the whole Elder Scrolls series, going back to Morrowind for me, on console. I haven't done anything with PC ever, so to be able to mod a game is a new experience for me. And Skyrim has been my favorite video game of all time ever. And I started playing video games back when the Atari 2600 came out, back in the old school days. So anyway, I like and always have sought a visually awesomely graphical type of game. And I'm so excited about the next, 10 years. I think we're going to see some amazing things with graphics in video games as we get to more realism. For Skyrim, you know, again, this special edition, even vanilla has created a better game visually versus, if you plug the old one into the Xbox 360, it's totally apparent, just the game itself. But then when you start to add mods, we can create a really, really awesome looking game. So the one thing that I want to do here is also, with all of that being said, I don't want to be hypocritical, but I went back to the Dropbox document and I revisited every mod that I had in that original video, or part 1 of these videos. And I have a few minor tweaks based on a couple of things. So I want to pull up my load order again and kind of go through a few of those things. But like I said, I did all of the back end work ahead of time to bring to you in that first video what I really feel is the best graphic mods in terms of, you know, overhauling, making the game look better. So you can see that nothing is changed in the first top part of the load order here. SGO, Static Mesh, and Skyland I recommend the most. So I did a video on Skyland and Langley's and Osmodeus, and I think Skyland makes the game look the most natural. So again, I went back through, I revisited everything, and I don't know, I think I just maybe missed a couple of small mods here that I had in the wrong place. I did switch out one mod, and that was the Claralux or Claralux lamppost and lighting mod. Changed lampposts and some different lighting elements throughout Skyrim, and I didn't like the way that it rendered. Basically, lights would pop on 5 seconds after you were in the area or passing them. So I tried Lanterns of Skyrim, and I liked it much better, and I thought it added the same look in terms of enhancement. So I switched that one out. Let's see. There's a few mods that you probably have noticed, even in my other video, that I haven't activated yet. So Diverse Dragons, there's this new Splendor Dragons one that has come out. I haven't started the main quest yet. Still haven't started it yet. So I'm going to be activating these a little bit later when I am ready to start the main quest. And also followers. I haven't done anything with followers, and I want to be able to play around with some followers and amazing follower tweaks at some point. So the other mod that had come out that we haven't talked about yet is Far Better Sun, and I definitely recommend this one. I've looked at the load order and thought that that was the best place for it. I have my new load order in the description with categories this time around. Again, this isn't really new, just a couple of minor changes. That Far Better Sun being a new one, and I do recommend that one. Makes the sun look much better. I also noticed that in the middle of some, I guess what we might call beauty mods, there's a category that is sounds and cheats. So I made some arrangements with, again, based on the load order with that. I also am testing out this new eye mod. I don't like it. I think it makes all NPCs look like vampires. I do like naturalize them, and I'm going to go back to that one. I also want to be able to test out some armor mods. So again, kind of moving forward with this channel, I want to be able to test out a few of those kinds of things. And and again, testing new mods as they come out that might be better enhancing graphics. So this one here, Change NPC Clothes, is one that we're going to look at today as well. And again, when these mods pop out in the, you know, as they come out, I want to test them right away. They're not going to be in that Dropbox document right away. It could be weeks, it could be months before, or they may never come up in that Dropbox document. So as they, as mod authors release them, I want to be able to put them in, talk about where they could go in the Dropbox document. So basically everything's the same. There's a few mods at the bottom of my load order that I don't know where they go, and I guess I could at some point go back to the document and see where they go. Locking Skyrim always seemed to do better at the bottom. There's no recommendations from the mod authors where these go, but again, we could find where they might go best in the load order. So I want to scoot ahead to Whiterun and look at the Change NPC Clothes mod. What this claims to do is add some more detail to NPC clothing. Not so much armor, and I haven't seen any changes in armor, but rather changes in clothing. So we're going to check that out. as we're approaching the square here, or the market in Whiterun, I'm going to be honest with the community of Skyrim here and say that I like SGO. I'm not a fan of some of the town overhauls because I'll give Whiterun. I'll use Whiterun for an example. I think when the game was designed, Whiterun is an old and ancient town, and if you look at some of the I guess detail of the vanilla game, everything seems lived in. Everything seems weather worn, old, but not too old. Not obviously run down. This is a populated, thriving town here. When some of the overhauls change these buildings to look like brand new, it's just kind of a turnoff for me. So to find mods that, or at least to make the point of, some of these major graphic overhauls, I guess one of the things I also don't like about some of the other ones, and like what I've put in this perfect load order, is that it still honors some of the lore, if you will, and some of the vanilla colors and design that was purposeful from the start. So that's one thing I wanted to say about Whiterun in particular. I just really like the colors. The paint's faded. It's not a new coat of paint. It's been there a while, and this is a lived-in place to be. Anyway, let's look at some of the clothes here in this mod. I really love this mod that adds detail to the NPC clothes, male and female, and children, as you'll see in just a minute too. It adds a more elaborate texture to everybody, as you can see in most of the folks here. Trying to get some front side shots instead of just the old derriere shots, but you can see kind of the detail of the pattern. One thing I thought of is, does it make the townspeople, does it look too rich, if you will? And I guess some of the beggars don't have quite the texture overhaul that some of the other folks have. So I guess there's some balance of, would a more high class NPC have a more elaborate clothing? I think it's still balanced out pretty nicely, and I think it just adds a nice look to the game.
What do you need, my friend?
And everybody's clothing.
Remember,
Again, male, female, and children as well. I didn't see any changes to, like I said, armor. I was trying to see if any of the clothing aspects of armor changed. I didn't see any, but that still could be something that just haven't discovered yet. A little bit of change in that gentleman's clothing right there, and this child as well. All right, another thing that I had done that I just want to share here is that I was having an issue with sound. There were some sound effects that weren't happening, and I thought it was my game. I thought it was maybe some mods conflicting. So I was playing around with some of the sound mods that I had. Come to find out, it was just my speakers. I use computer speakers when I play, so my computer speakers were on the fritz. But what I had done was I completely reset my Xbox system. Not a hard reset, but going into settings and, resetting the system, but saving the games. When you do that and go back into Skyrim and your mods, you have to re-download and reorganize every single mod that you may have had before. So just a little bit of advice there. I had done it a couple other times. I think maybe one other time where I had a something happen to my system, so I did that and it fixed it. But just a little word of advice. So anyway, again, my purpose today was to explain what you can expect from this channel, show a couple of mods here, and again, going to be dedicated to the Dropbox document and looking at mods as they come out and how we can utilize them the best we can to create an awesome looking Skyrim. Thanks for watching, guys.